Cool. So let's start putting this thing back together then. So we're going to put the electronics tray. We're going to slide this very carefully, making sure that this receiver cable is not jammed in any way. Nice and gently. Very nice and smooth. No sort of jamming there, and we know it's nice and locked in when you can see the these two plastic sort of stand things sort of slot into the sort of U groove there, and sort of it just, you know, it doesn't go anymore when it doesn't slide anymore, obviously. So this just goes on there like so. We'll just drop the little plastic washer type things in there. Screws go back in. So it does, yeah, just enough to keep it secure. And I suppose we should follow the instructions. So install the receiver. Well, I don't have the receiver with me now, and I'm not going to go through the whole binding process in this video. I'll probably do that in a second video tomorrow, because I'm not going to get this out tonight. It's dark. It's actually gone midnight here in the UK. That's how dedicated I am. I finished work. I came down here straight away because I wanted to record this video for you, and I knew that I would not be able to wait anyway. I've waited 2 months, so I'm not going to wait any longer. Let's get these off. Don't need those. You can see the impatience in me now. Cool. So as we mentioned earlier, these are the 2300 kV motors. These are 2204s. I believe, I don't know if you know much about the motors, but basically I think 2300 basically means for every 1 amp of power it will spin 23,000 times a minute, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. So if you ever wonder what those numbers are, that's basically what it is, and you can look it up just to double check. You can see on the bottom here, yeah, pretty good soldering. Probably better than what I could do, to be fair. These nice little rubber, these are just stuck on. As you can see, this one here is peeling up a bit. Stick that down, it's not a problem. I'm guessing that you can buy new ones of these if you want to change the motors out, and if the motor wires are a little bit thicker, then you're probably not going to get it in. But obviously, as you can see, there's a groove in here which where the cables run up to, and they've been very nicely, cleverly, try and get it fed through the top of the arm into the bottom and then along. So yeah, obviously both arms are identical, and you just need to make sure that you get them round the right way. Which is going to be a bit of a mystery. See if it's so it looks like, I don't know if you can tell here from the box, it looks like here that's the angled bit and that's the flat bit. So it looks like the angle bits point into each other. And as I said at the beginning, I'm learning all this as I go along with you guys. So excuse if you're shouting at the video now because I got it round the wrong way. But we'll put it on this way, and then If it turns out to be wrong, we can swap them over. I've also, as I'll quickly mention, that I've heard that some of these USB ports aren't lining up. Mine looks to be lining up perfectly. No qualms there. So let's see if we can get this. Yep, they snap pretty nicely. As you can see, the solder joints actually don't sit flush. You can see they're protruding out there a little bit, which is where these caps come in. So they're handy and almost a necessity, I guess, because you don't want any shorts happening. Let's push the second one on. Okay, so I can see a bit of an issue here. As you can see, when I push this down, it's not snapping in because the actual tray is moving. So I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm going to see if I can try and work that out, because that might take a little bit of time, and then I'll let you guys know in a second how I resolved that. Right, so back, and I can't really find a way. I took it apart to see if I'd not put the tray in properly, but no, it keeps going in exactly the same way. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and take a small screwdriver. Probably would have been better if it was not metal, but I'm going to try and just hook it underneath the XD connector there, so I can get it in focus. So just hook it under here there, and see if I can just hold it in as I push. This again might not work. No, that looks like it's been enough to do the job. On one side at least, as you can see, this side is still not quite flush, so excuse me if I'm not in view again. This is not amazing. Okay, so there you go. I think I've got it on there well enough. Yeah, that's on well enough. Obviously, as soon as I get those screws on, it's going to pull the whole thing up and together, so it's not a big issue, but you don't want to rely on the torque of the screws to pull the tray up, because that can put stress on the threads. You could strip the threads of the screws and of the actual the things the screws are going into. So without any more weight, let's yep, definitely got the legs on the right way by the looks of it. So I'm just now going to open up this little pack of goodies. Let's see what we've got inside here. Let's use the box as a nice little tray. So as mentioned earlier, these are the locking nuts for the locking nuts and washers for the motors. Got some screws here. I think these are going to be the ones that we're going to use. Yeah, because it looks like these are just spares of the ones that fit the front bumper on. Got a small cable here, just a standard sort of JS. I've forgotten what these are called now. Just a standard cable for something along the lines of video or camera. Small bit of heat shrink tubing by the looks of it. Not quite sure what that's for. But yeah, worry about that later. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to take the front one off because I want to know what this hole is. Okay, so so that hole and these little screws here are not spares. They weren't that nice, that kind to us. These screws obviously are going to put the cover on after we've secured the arms, as you can see there, but we'll get to that in a sec. So I made sure I took the front one off because obviously that was easy to go on, nice and easy. Let's just get these screws in. Okay, all good. Now we're just going to put these covers on. These obviously to help keep the water off, stop them getting, stop them shorting out. Drop the screw there. Just trying to see if it goes on, if it's any particular orientation, but I don't know. Yeah, so you can see, let's put this down for a sec, you can see that this top lip here is actually smaller than the bottom one, so that helps with the orientation. Bottom one goes on the bottom, the big one goes on the bottom, and the smaller one goes on the top. Good thing about this is all one size, so far as you can see I've only had to use this one tool. No soldering. So that's that cap on. And on this side, again, it's the opposite to the top. The line goes on the bottom. Cool, so starting to take shape now. Well, obviously it's just, all there's to do is really put the arms on, but starting to look more quad-like. And yeah, so let's just put the straps on, and we'll get the props on. And I think that will wrap up today's video because it's getting quite late, I'm getting tired, and I'm not going to do much more else with this now. Going to wait till tomorrow, hopefully all good, weather permitting, I'll get to fly it. So obviously, shouldn't have to tell you this, but props, normally you'll have a smaller dip on the top and a larger, deeper dip on the bottom to give you the orientation. If you can't work that out, you normally have, as you could just see there, 5x4 tells you on the, so you know it's it will normally mark the type of propeller, the size of the propeller on the top, so you know that's the top. So I've got experience of these motors before, and I know that you have to really push these on because they just are quite stiff. As you can see, I'm having real trouble getting this on. Oh, finally, it's on. Cool. Obviously, you should put the prop brushes on if you really feel like it. I don't use them, to be fair. I just find them a pain, and I've never really found that I've needed to use them. And in fact, I'm not even sure whether they go on the top or the bottom, but I guess they go on the top. But hey, I'm going to do this properly. At least I hope so. And now I'm going to put them on the top. I'm just going to loosely put them on because I'm going to take this apart in a minute anyway. So yeah, that's how the props goes on. Let's just put the Triumph antenna on to the Unity transmitter. Just screws in like that and then just bends up nice and easy. Pretty solid, solid feeling. Doesn't look like it's going to be moving around too much there. Pretty cool. So yep, I assume as we've got only one of these that this is the Mobius GoPro strap. So which I'm getting confused now which way it goes. So just loops on there like that. I'm sure you've seen these. I'm sure you've seen straps before, but if we're going to assemble it, we should really put all the straps in. And I have heard that it's actually easier to do this, obviously, without the electronics in. In fact, you're right, that's just going to be impossible to get that in. So we'll just pretend that that's looped in. So you can see the battery sits under there. Obviously, the keen eagle-eyed of you out there will notice that I've not even thought about which orientation these propellers are. I will check that tomorrow before her maiden. Looks like the mounts goes on just like that. Pretty cool. It's just made out of foam, I think. Not much to it. I've actually ordered a different one. Wishful thinking, yeah, I'm not quite sure where these go, or where they're intended to go, should I say. Doesn't look there's much indication on the box either where where they assume you'll expect you to put them. So there we have it, the TBS Vendetta. Looking pretty sweet, to be fair. Really excited to fly this. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed watching me faff around and try and work out what's what. Hope you liked the close-ups of all the individual parts. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them over to me and I'll do my best to answer them if I can. Please subscribe below and like me on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. I'll be posting up lots of videos of me flying this thing, lots of videos of me trying to set this thing up, tuning it as I say. So if you're into quads and you're especially into your TBS products and your Vendetta, then yeah, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.